So it is good day to you, huh? Very good to see your energy, your light, your love, your radiant beings. All that you are just brighter than these beautiful chandeliers that we have in this room as the rays of energy are coming out and about all around each of you. For those of you whom we have not met, we are at Rhonda. And we bring with us an entire council of beings of light that are here on your behalf. And we wanted to bring a very special message. We told our vessel Marilyn to pick a card. And she says, well, I can't read that card up there. But we can, huh? This is the app from Kryon. This is the message for humanity right now. So take a deep breath, huh? The relationships I have are loving, open, honest, and filled with mutual respect and trust. I love to be with people, and people love to be with me. It is a simple message, eh? Very simple. And with that simple message, we know, as you breathe into that energy of you loving to be with people and people loving to be with you, we hear some people coming to us and coming to our table. It is just like, oh, I just want to be off of this planet. I want to be out there in the stars. I want to be back home in my home planet. I want to be somewhere besides here. Too bad. You raised your hand or your fin or whatever you had in your previous lifetime, huh? And you said that you will be here on this planet at this time on Earth. And it is that time of massive transformation. And many of you, probably most of you, all of you, were here at different pinnacle points in this planet's history. Different times where the planet shifted its energy. Different times where the planet shifted its whole vibration. And then you thought, well, let's do it another time, huh? Here we are again. You see, in the past, before 2012, much of the energy was like, oh, I created everything. I'm a part of the creator. Yes, you are. I created everything, and we don't know why we created those difficult things that we've had to get to go through, huh? That we've gotten the opportunity to go through. You know, some people created, or they believed that they created cancer. Or they believe that they created their child being hit by a car and killed. Or maybe they created some other travesty in their life and they think, why would I create that? And you can go back into the Akash and you can see lots and lots of things. However, the vibration isn't different now. The vibration now is not that I created it. Sometimes things just happen, huh? A pickle is just a pickle. It just happens. What you do is how you respond to everything that happens in your world. Do you respond with that loving nature of mutual respect? Do you receive that loving nature and mutual respect back, huh? Some of you are saying yes. Some of you are saying, no, not at all. Well, if you're shaking your head and saying, no, not at all, take a deep breath. Because the one thing that is still fact is others are a reflection of you. And you say, why would they reflect something like that back to me? Because I still have something to learn? Oh, I don't think so. I know all that. How many of you hear yourself saying, oh, I know that. That is not new information. You know the three most dangerous words in any language? I know that. Because usually if you take note of what is coming or what has just been said, that is exactly what you need to know. Exactly what you get the opportunity to learn right here and right now. And others are reflecting that for you. So if you're not feeling like you're treated with loving, open, honest, trusted respect, do you treat others as though you are open, honest, in loving, trusted respect? We know that it is possible, and we know that awareness is the key. Awareness of where you are. And when those buttons, those energies are pushed, and they will be pushed, because this is the evolution of humanity right now. This is the very next step. And you are taking it voluntarily, even though some of you still feel like you're kicking and screaming. Too bad. Too late. You already raised your hand. For you see, this humanity, where we are right now, is that message of love. We know lots of songs have been written about love. Love is all you need. I lost my love and my dog and my truck. But you see, the energy is still love. And when you are crossed, or you are pushed, or you are triggered by your loved ones, know that they're just doing their job. They volunteered also to teach you something. Our vessel Marilyn had a wonderful interview with Lee Carroll on beginnings. If you haven't seen it, you've got to look at it. It was quite entertaining. And our vessel Marilyn's brothers have watched it. One Jehovah's Witness, one Assemblies of God minister, and one AA counselor. No one spoke of it, except the AA counselor. And he says, "What is channeling?" And she said, "Well, you do it. Every time you help someone move beyond where they have been, it is bringing a message for the soul. And that is what we do. And that is what you do. And dearest beings of light, that message is love. That truth, that vibration of love can lift you right off your chair, if you will let it. It can open your heart if you allow it. And if you don't, our question to you is why? Why is it that somewhere along the line you got that programming or that imprint or that trigger stuff that says that you are not worthy of all things? We are here to set the record straight, for you are worthy of love, trust, honest communication, faith, and the relationships that reflect that. For that is what you put out. We ask you to trust yourself. We ask you to be present with yourself and know that as that presence comes in, there are signs everywhere to connect you with that. Take a deep breath. And again. You see, as you breathe, you become present. We know you are thinking in your brain, well, Who do I still need to talk to, and who's being the loving presence in my life, huh? We are. And the person next to you, as you turn to the person next to you and look into their eyes, you see that love. You can't turn to the person next to you unless your head is stationary. And for some, they might have to turn a little differently, huh? You see, the world is learning. The world is learning. The world is transforming, and you are a part of that transformation. We've said it many times. You are the ones we have been waiting for. It is your responsibility. And for that we are excited. Oh, we love you deeply. We see you. We see inside and out. We see your light. We see your doubts, maybe some of your tears. We see your laughter, and when you laugh, your heart opens up and your guides come in and just do the work. Huh? We see all of that. And for that, we are fortunate, as are you. We bid you namaste. Namaste.
Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. Everything we describe to you in all of the channelings where we talk about shift and change have to do with the two words, new paradigm. And if you had to define paradigm as we do, it's going to be life. The way things work, all things. Not just in one sector or one seeming place that you might be. Not just in spirituality, but everywhere. And if that's the case, dear ones, you're going to see it starting to happen on the planet, and you are. But how about in a practical sense for you? Right now, as you sit in the chair, as you listen. In some cases, read. What's next for you? If you are at a juncture in your life, and it seems like things are different, or perhaps there are decisions that you wish to make, the first thing you might ask is, why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? To some, there is anxiety for even the simplest things, because you're on a threshold or at a threshold or part of a threshold that seems odd or feels different. And so what the answers normally are to the adult mind is, I am here because of ABC, and I will go in a place and do something because it's ABC. In other words, the ABC is known. It's what would be expected of any logical mind that is next for you. What I want to tell you is this, is that I want you to pause for a moment. If there is a paradigm shift, that means that what you really are expecting in the whiteness of light, as opposed to the darkness you've been in, then that whiteness is going to create another paradigm. You're moving from one color to another. You're moving from a darker to a lighter. And if you apply that metaphor to consciousness and paradigm, that means you cannot then count on the things you counted on before to be a certain way. And that's good news. Because I'll tell you, the things that happened a certain way in the past were not all that great. So you sit at a threshold and you'll say, oh, I'll push here, I'll try this, but that won't work. It hasn't worked in the past. I'll try it anyway. You've already decided what you think may or may not work based upon what others have seen that did or did not work. Maybe it's a time of life for you. Every single human being is part of the clock that winds in a certain direction, always forward, and produces decision time, whatever that is. Sometimes you might be young and the decision time is when your children are gone. Or maybe the decision time is simply that they're graduated. Or maybe the decision time is that they are entering school. But there are decisions to be made that are different. And what I mean by different is this, is you have to wipe away the expected result of common action. Wipe away the expected result of common action. You know people who have gone through what you're going through, or perhaps have been at this juncture you're at, or will be at. And you want to interview them and say, well, what's the best source? What shall we do next? And what has worked for you? And that is common sense, dear ones, and that is what you would expect. But I'll tell you the difference. You're walking into a place that no one's been. And you can get as much advice as you want to, but dear ones, if you're walking in with a consciousness that's wide open and knows these things that I'm telling you, it's all different. And that is the best news I could ever give you. Because the expected things will not necessarily be what you're going to get. Is it time to apply for something? I'm talking to somebody in here. What do you expect? What are the fears that you carry into that next section of where you're going? What have you been told? How many times have I sat in front of you and said that when you go to the doctor, it's almost like it's a judge and a jury and a sentence based upon the past. Good medicine will change because the paradigm is different with who you are. And so the doctor may be right for everything that has happened in the past, but not for you. And so what do you do with that? You listen and understand that is an old paradigm that the doctor believes in, and that's not yours. There are so many individuals in the situation like you are in right now. Whether it's an action you must take, a time of life, or perhaps even health. Or I'm going to tell you the slate is clean where you're going. You can write what is going to happen to you, not expecting what is going to happen. This is the most difficult thing for a human to know. Years and years ago, I gave you a parable called the Parable of the Missing Bridge. It was about a man named Woe. It always is a woe man. He was going along a road, and he was about to cross a bridge he had always crossed when he realized it was missing and it was gone. And the temptation at that point in time was to stop, examine what are the alternate routes. But Woe did not, because Woe was a new human. He knows what you know. He knows that the slate is clean. And instead of stopping, he went faster. Knowing that around the corner there would be something that would tell him what's next. What he didn't expect was around the corner coming into view was a brand new bridge that had been under construction for at least 10 years. that was out of sight, and he sailed across it. There are things in the ethers, dear ones, if you want to call it that, under construction for you. And if I talk to you in several months or years, you'd laugh and say, I didn't believe it. But listen to this. This person came forward. I found this out of the blue. Some say this or that took place. And the only difference is this: you expected it. Blessed is the human being who understands that they are not a victim of the circumstances of the paradigm that used to be earth. And that the very human that you are is instrumental in creating and painting the white that goes where you go. Expect good, benevolent change in your life. Not the opposite. Not what people have told you or what has happened to others that you have seen. That was another time, dear one. You stand now worthy, magnificent, and God views you in that way. You're a catalyst to the rest of the planet who sees the way you act, no matter what happens next here. No matter what odd thing takes place that you read about or see about, know that you are above it all in the things that will be attracted to you because you expect them. It's almost like a magnet. It's almost like you're giving an order in a restaurant, and here it comes, and here it comes, and here it comes. And there's so many who have experienced this, who I could put on a stage right now, and in tears, they will give you the best stories you have ever heard. Of how they're still alive today because they didn't buy in to an old paradigm. Of how they're in control of things they always felt they were out of control in. Of how they've mastered the unmasterable because they took a breath and said, I am magnificent. These things and more and better will happen to me. Where are you in this scenario? It's practical. The earth changes, the shift is upon us. We've given you all of these things before, but as you sit in the seat with the things you must do next, I want you to know it's beautiful. Relax. Take a breath. And move forward in love, expecting benevolent things in your life. And they'll be there. This is a new paradigm where light is winning, and it may sound odd and unusual and unbelievable. Let it sound that way, but be the one to disprove it. Disprove the old adages that people have told you, and instead walk forward. And then tell the people around you the wonderful things that have occurred to you. And when they start asking you why, you can say, because it's a new paradigm on this planet where love is beginning to win. There's more. There will be. Always will be. Because of what is going on that's different than even yesterday or the day before. Go from this place having been changed a little by what you heard today. Claim it as your own. And if you do, then there was a reason why Kryon is here. And so it is.